What if these 12 stars had said yes to England? Well, they didn't. Instead, they turned their backs on the Three Lions and chose other nations. From Jamal Musiala to Ryan Giggs, these are 12 players who turned England down. Starting at number 1 is Erling Haaland. If only Erling Haaland didn't turn England down, maybe they might have won that Euro final against Spain. Haaland was born in Leeds, England, and because of that, he had the choice to play for either England or Norway. His father, Alfie Haaland, was a well-known footballer who played for several Premier League clubs in the 90s. Erling could have chosen England because of his birthplace, but he decided to play for Norway, his parents' home country. For Haaland, the decision wasn't just about winning trophies. Even though playing for England might have given him a better chance at international success, his pride in his Norwegian roots led him to represent Norway on the world stage. A man of culture. It makes you wonder though, what if Haaland had picked England? Could he have been the missing piece to England having more trophies? I guess we'll never know. Unlike Haaland, who was born in England, Musiala was born in Germany but grew up in England like Haaland. Jamal Musiala. Musiala was born in Stuttgart, Germany, but moved to England at a young age and developed his skills in the Chelsea Academy. He was eligible to play for England or Germany due to his dual nationality. Musiala had even represented England at various youth levels. So when he made the decision to switch back to Germany, it was a huge shocker. In 2021, when it was time to choose which country to represent at the senior level, Musiala picked Germany. His heart was drawn to his German roots, despite having a strong connection to England, where he grew up. The decision was tough for Musiala, but his feelings of belonging to Germany won in the end. Germany welcomed Musiala with open arms, seeing the incredible talent he brings to their squad. Next on the list is Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale was a talisman for Spurs, Real Madrid, and his national team, Wales. But did you know that he actually had the opportunity to play for England if he wanted to? Even as a young footballer, Bale was always clear about his loyalty to Wales. Despite being eligible to play for England through his grandmother, he never considered it. When his agent suggested he could play for England, Bale was so against the idea that he told him to never bring it up again if he wanted to keep his job. Bale's passion for his homeland was obvious throughout his career. He even became famous for saying Wales, Golf, Madrid in that order, which showed how much playing for Wales meant to him above anything else. His dedication was rewarded when he became the captain of the Welsh national team, leading them to some of their best moments, including reaching the Euro 2016 semi-finals. For Bale, it wasn't about winning with a bigger team like England, it was about representing his home country, where his heart always belonged, and bringing pride to Wales with every match. And just like Gareth Bale, Alex Iwobi turned down England to play for his home country, Nigeria. Alex Iwobi, born in Lagos, Nigeria, moved to England as a child and developed his football skills in the Arsenal Youth Academy. He, like Musiala, represented England at the youth level, winning a tournament with them. But even though he was successful with England, Iwobi felt a deep connection to his Nigerian roots. His uncle, JJ Okocha, is a football legend in Nigeria, and his family ties pulled him back to his birthplace. In 2015, Iwobi made the decision to represent Nigeria at the senior level. This choice wasn't based on football politics or the potential to win more trophies with England. Instead, it was a heartfelt decision to honour his family and heritage. Iwobi has since become an important player for the Nigerian national team, proudly wearing the green and white. Talking about wearing your country's colours, Scott McTominay. Former Man United player Scott McTominay also turned down the opportunity to play for England, choosing instead to represent Scotland. Because he was born in England to Scottish parents, McTominay was eligible to play for either country. Despite his rising prominence at Manchester United in 2017, England didn't seem in a rush to call him up, possibly because of their already strong midfield options. However, McTominay's club manager at the time, Jose Mourinho, saw a great opportunity. He encouraged Scotland's coach, Alex McLeish, to secure McTominay for Scotland before England could. In March 2018, McTominay made his international debut for Scotland, fulfilling a long-standing childhood dream. He had always wanted to play for Scotland, and this decision reflected his deep connection to his family and Scottish heritage. Now he's the best player for Scotland and always scores important goals for them. On to the next. Matty Cash. Matty Cash, born in England, chose to represent Poland on the international stage, thanks to his Polish roots through his mother. In 2021, Cash made the decision to embrace his heritage by securing a Polish passport. His desire to play for Poland over England wasn't a difficult one. He expressed his interest in joining the Poland national team, and by November of that same year, he made his debut in a World Cup qualifier against Andorra. Unlike some other players with complex or dramatic national team switches, Cash's transition to the Polish side was smooth and without controversy. He quickly embraced the opportunity to wear the iconic red and white jersey and represented the country of his mother's family. The next player on the list is former Crystal Palace player Wilfred Zaha. Wilfred Zaha was born in Ivory Coast but moved to London when he was just 4 years old. This gave him the option to play international football for either England or Ivory Coast. Initially, Zaha leaned towards England and even represented their youth teams. In 2012, he got called up by then England manager Roy Hodgson and made 2 appearances for the senior team. However, these were only friendly matches and not competitive games, which left the door open for him to switch national teams later on. In 2016, Zaha made the big decision to represent Ivory Coast, the country of his birth. FIFA approved the switch since he hadn't played competitive matches for England. From that point forward, Zaha proudly wore the Ivory Coast jersey and has represented the nation in multiple international tournaments. Next up is Mikel Antonio. Mikel Antonio's international football journey has been full of twists and turns. He was born in London to Jamaican parents, meaning he had the choice to play for either England or Jamaica. In 2016, it looked like his dream of playing for England was coming true. He turned down Jamaica, hoping for an England call-up, which came for a World Cup qualifier. Though he stayed on the bench, it seemed like a promising start. In 2017, another England call-up was ruined by injury, leaving his international career in doubt. By 2021, Antonio shifted his focus back to Jamaica, eager to help them qualify for the 2022 World Cup. The process wasn't easy though. He faced challenges like squad exclusions, passport delays, and COVID-19 travel restrictions. Despite everything, Antonio stayed determined. Finally, at 31, he made his competitive international debut for Jamaica in September 2021. Today, he proudly represents Jamaica on the international football scene. Now let's talk about a Premier League all-timer, Ryan Giggs. But before that, the story of Ryan Giggs is similar to many other players on this list. He was born elsewhere, in Cardiff, Wales specifically. But because he grew up in England, Giggs had the chance to play for either England or Wales. Although he went to school in England and even captained England's schoolboy team, his heart always belonged to Wales. In 1989, Giggs led England's schoolboys and famously beat Wales 4-0. Despite this, his loyalty to his Welsh roots never wavered. In 1991, he made his senior debut for the Welsh national team, making it clear that he would never switch to England, even though they had issues with their left wing. Giggs was proud of his Welsh heritage, saying in 2002 that he would rather never qualify for a major tournament than play for a country where he wasn't born or had no family ties. Another player who made a big decision to switch national teams was Ademola Lookman. Ademola Lookman, born in London to Nigerian parents, Lookman, like Iwobi, was eligible to play for both England and Nigeria. Early in his career, he leaned towards England, playing for their youth teams, including the under-19s and under-21s. Despite meeting with the Nigerian Football Federation as early as 2018, Lookman kept his focus on playing for England. Even when Nigeria announced in 2020 that they wanted him for their senior team, Lookman still had his eyes set on representing England. However, after several years of waiting and no call-up to England's senior squad, Lookman made a surprising decision. In 2022, he officially switched his allegiance to Nigeria, getting FIFA's approval. In March 2022, Lookman made his debut for the Nigerian Super Eagles in a World Cup qualifier against Ghana. Of all the players in this video, the next player, Adnan Januzaj, had the most complex international football journey. Adnan Januzaj. Before 2014, he had several options for his international career, including Belgium, Kosovo, Turkey, Serbia, and Croatia. But Kosovo was not yet recognized by FIFA, so it was ruled out. His father also decided against Serbia, Turkey, and Croatia due to a lack of genuine connections. Although his parents were initially interested in Albania, they found the approach there unprofessional. This left Belgium as a strong contender. At the same time, England showed interest in Januzaj. Since he'd been living in England since he was 16, he could have easily become a UK citizen and joined the English team. Despite this, Januzaj was not swayed by England's offer. In 2014, he chose to represent Belgium. His decision paid off, as he played for Belgium in the World Cup that year in Brazil. Now, our final player on the list is Leverkusen fullback Jeremy Frimpong. Jeremy Frimpong was born in Amsterdam but moved to England at a young age and developed his football career there. With dual eligibility, Frimpong could have chosen to represent either England or the Netherlands. Initially, his focus was on England, where he played for various youth teams. However, his strong connection to his Dutch roots and the growing interest from the Netherlands Football Association played a significant role in his decision-making process. In 2022, after several calls from Dutch selectors and the chance to represent his country of birth, Frimpong chose to switch his allegiance. He officially requested to play for the Netherlands, which was granted by FIFA. His debut for the Dutch national team came shortly after, marking a new chapter in his career. And that's all, guys. 12 players that turned England down. Which other players did we miss? Let us know in the comments section below. See you in the next video.